Hi everyone, today we'll be presenting analysis of a key economic issue affecting Adidas, focusing on the rise of global inflation. The guide of presentation will first explain what is happening in the market, then why it affects Adidas, followed by how the company can capitalize on this situation, and finally, we'll conclude with our main insights. So, what is happening in the market? As shown in this graph, global inflation has increased significantly in recent years, driving up the overall cost of living. As a result, consumer spending has decreased, particularly in categories such as sportswear. This has caused demand to begin flattening as fewer consumers are able to spend on discretionary products like athletic footwear and apparel. At the same time, the market is still growing, but that growth is not evenly distributed. Only a few companies are capturing most of that growth, increasing competitive pressure within the industry. Overall, the market is shifting to two main groups: consumers with high purchasing power and those with very limited spending capacity. This division is becoming more evident as inflation continues to impact global markets.
Adidas is seeing a change in their customers' buying pressure. We see that customers are becoming more price sensitive as they look to lower ticket items to satisfy their needs of sneakers. They're not willing to spend as much on larger ticket items like high end shoes, and we're also seeing them look for cheaper, more affordable options. This is a big problem for Adidas as most of its profit comes from those higher end shoes. This is also causing them more inventory and shortages of their cheaper, more valuable shoes. So we see that customers are also delaying their purchases of those higher ticket items. So we're seeing them wait like 3 to 6 months before they take those big purchases. Well, we're seeing that value is mattering more than ever before, and we see that customers are aligned on value more than price. Customers will switch brands fast if we do not create a great solution for them that is both valuable and cheap. They will move to our closest competitors like Nike.
Adidas' business model is built on discretionary spending, meaning consumers choose to buy its products when they have extra income and not out of necessity. Because of this, inflation has had a direct and significant impact on the company. As inflation rises, consumers are cutting back on non-essential purchases like premium athletic apparel and footwear, which weakens demand for Adidas' products. This becomes even more challenging because Adidas holds only about 8% of the global sporting goods market, so any slowdown in buying trends increases competition. At the same time, higher U.S. tariffs have forced Adidas to raise prices, making it harder to stay competitive, especially when consumers are already looking for cheaper options. In Europe, many shoppers are turning to competitors like Nike and Puma, who offer a lot of cheaper alternatives. Slower demand also creates inventory issues. Adidas may be forced to hold excess stock, increase discounts, or even reduce production, all of which hurt profitability. And looking ahead, the outlook remains challenging. McKinsey & Company forecasts the sports industry will slow about 6% annually between 2026 and 2029 in key regions. Overall, inflation pressures Adidas by reducing demand, increasing costs, and intensifying competition, making economic conditions a critical factor in its success.
So this is our strategy right now. Our strategy is centered around creating a lower cost Adidas product line that targets consumers who are basically being priced out of our product lines right now. Instead of lowering prices across the board, Adidas can expand into retailers like Target or Walmart and be able to reach a wider audience. The key here is that the core Adidas brand stays premium and untouched. Those products will stay the same and those repeat customers won't be affected. But this approach now allows Adidas to capture demand they're currently losing and missing out on, especially from more price sensitive customers, without actually hurting their main brand positioning overall. So the biggest concern with this strategy is obviously brand value. Adidas has already built itself up as a premium brand, so the last thing they want to do is look cheap. That's why the key here is to use a separate subline or a different type of branding instead of just lowering prices across everything. It can be marked as more of an accessible Adidas option rather than a downgrade in overall quality. We've seen this work with brands like Levi and even certain designer collaborations with Target, where they reach a wider audience and bring more people in without hurting their main image and customers. As long as Adidas controls the messaging and keeps the core products premium, they can balance this affordability while still protecting how people view the brand overall. So to wrap it up, inflation is clearly challenging and changing on how people spend, especially on non-essential items like athletic wear. Adidas is starting to feel that. So, with more of these price sensitive customers either delaying purchases or switching to cheaper options. At the same time, demand is shifting more towards value and affordability across the market. The strategy we propose gives Adidas a new way to adjust to that shift without hurting what makes the brand strong in the first place. If they do this right, this isn't just about avoiding losses, it's actually an opportunity to grow market share and stay competitive during a tougher economic environment and be able to control these ups and down seasons.